Hey everybody, Josh the RV nerd here at HaylettRV of Coldwater, Michigan. And no, I didn't fail to just frame the camera up properly. I want to give a little, very low-tech demonstration, but one I think will be perfectly sufficient for when RV slide toppers are a good idea and when they are not a good idea, because they're not always a good idea. Um, People ask us sometimes, why do your RVs not have slide toppers? Why wouldn't you want to protect your RV, especially your fancy fifth wheels? You talk about protecting an investment. Well, when you're a nationwide dealer like we are, I mean, we sell everywhere, coast to coast, Maine, Florida, California, Oregon, Washington, everywhere in between. We've sent things overseas, Alaska, whatever. We've got some in Hawaii even. The tricky part with that is you're now trying to appeal to a broad audience. So we generally have RVs equipped to suit a very broad audience. But things like slide toppers are actually something that's a good regional thing. Here around the Midwest, they're generally a really good idea due to the fact that slide toppers are really good with, like, pretend this is your slide out box. That's what this ugly cardboard box here is to represent. When you have debris that could fall, like if you're parked around trees and things, the slide out toppers are a great idea because it protects us from the brunt of the sun, the wind, the rain, maybe the snow, the weather, the pine cones and needles and leaves and things and sticks that could fall on top of here. Otherwise, you have to get up on your trailer, you have to sweep this thing off and then run your slide in, because if you don't clean this when you run your slide in, you're just going to grind up all of your slide out seals. However, if you live mostly where it's flatlands, where you don't have a lot of overhanging stuff like trees, slide toppers are not a good idea. And here's why. As the slide out extends, you expect the slide out awning to go with it. And of course it does. And you have that nice little gap in here where things can run off and whatnot. But there's more material in the slide out awning roll than there is length of slide out. So what that means is that if it starts getting windy, you'll start to see extra material extend out from that, and suddenly it's flat. Suddenly it's slack, and it's now when the wind hits it, it can flap and hit on top of your slide out box. That's a good way to damage this, because the top of the slide out box is effectively an extension of your roof. For some reason, some people don't make a connection there. You want to treat it has the same generally like petroleum-based roofing on it. It has the same seal systems and things. You have to protect this just like you protect the roof of your trailer. The only way to fix this is you have to recoil the entire slide out to kind of reset the spring, and then re-extend the slide out to get it back where it's supposed to be. Now, for park type folks, I've seen some people like shove a basketball or something under here to help just like artificially inflate this and keep this up and taut. I'm sure that's actually probably not a terrible idea. Like a beach ball, or probably beach ball is probably, if you're going to do that, is one of the better ideas, because you can control the level of inflation to your needs or to its appropriate tension point. I've always worried though that you're stretching, because this is still in a way a fabric. It's a type of fabric. I feel like you're stretching that and not using it for its intended purpose. If you're going to be on like a permanent type park site, there are like little hard shell sort of covers that can go over top of a slide out. I'm not so sure those aren't a better option, but those are just exceedingly rare. I don't see folks use those a lot. Maybe that's regional. We have a lot of park type campers around here. But I know in some areas there's also high concentrations, and maybe like say in a Florida or a Texas, that's more common. Use your own local judgment. So that's kind of the gist of it. The thing is, adding slide toppers aftermarket is not difficult. We do it all the time. To put this on a trailer without it is not usually difficult, provided the manufacturer left enough room between the top of the slide out and the top of the trailer. Because you see how this has to sweep down. There are certain manufacturers where, because let me see here. I don't have something to give a good example. The slide out flange, it could actually stick up higher than this. So you've got this is your slide out room, but you've actually got the framing around the slide out box can stick up higher. Well, that's actually what the slide out awning attaches to. It's not going to actually attach straight to the box, sort of as it looks here. Well, if the top of that flange is higher than the or at an equal level, roughly, with the roof line of the trailer, there's not enough slant for this thing to do its job. We ran into that on typically only smaller ultralights, but some people want, I'm getting ready to retire, is the story. I want a small camper, and I'm going to do everything I can to take care of this. I want a really, really nice camper, but I don't want any problems. So I want you to put these on. We've actually seen where some of these will almost invert the slant by the time you hook it up to the flange of the slide out so that the water runs back toward the roof of the trailer. That's the exact opposite thing of what you want. You do not want to do that in that case. There are also some trailers that if you don't add this from the factory, you shouldn't add it aftermarket, though I see dealers do it all the time. Because to install this on a trailer, there has to be something to screw into within the wall. In the case of a laminated trailer, that needs to be like an aluminum plate, basically. Not every laminated trailer comes with that if this is not installed from the factory. That's not all. That's the exception, not the rule. But there are some major brands that build that way, so you just have to be prepared to be careful. So again, hopefully this handy little low-tech demonstration is enough to help you guys understand where these are good, where they are not. Again, long story short, if you're at a place where there's a lot of junk that can fall in the trailer, they're awesome. If you're at a place where it's really windy, don't do it. Just don't do it. So take care, stay safe, have fun, happy camping, everyone, and as always, don't ever hesitate to call us with any questions. Thank you.